What's up guys, Magey Cake here. Today we're in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms outside of the Mogushan Palace to defeat Aki the Chosen. Just want to remind everybody that the stable masters for each faction are located outside of their shrines. Defeating Aki is required for 3 account-wide achievements: I Choose You, Taming Pandaria, and Taming Azeroth. Completing the I Choose You achievement will earn you a heavy sack of gold through the mail, and it contains 3,000 gold. This is only available to one character, so be careful which character you open the mail with. The gold in the sack does count towards the Got My Mind on My Money achievements. Aki's team consists of a dragonkin named Stormlash, a critter named Chirrup, and an aquatic named Whiskers. As a dragonkin, Stormlash has the passive ability to deal an additional 25% damage when his opponent's health is below half. He takes increased damage from humanoid abilities and has resistance against flying abilities. The first ability he uses is Call Lightning, which is a weather ability and the ability you'll be most concerned with. During a lightning storm, all pets deal additional mechanical damage, and mechanical abilities deal an additional 25% damage. It's important to note that as a mechanical ability, Lightning Storm will do increased damage against beast pets. Using abilities that have dot effects that hit multiple times per round, such as Nut Barrage or Build Turret, will see the biggest benefit from this weather effect. His second ability is Roar, which does a moderate amount of damage, but also enrages Stormlash, so he does an additional 25% damage for 3 rounds. His final ability is Tail Sweep, which does substantial damage and will deal additional damage if Stormlash goes last. Stormlash's typical attack pattern is to open with Call Lightning, use Roar for his damage increase, and then Tail Sweep you to death. Your best strategy for dealing with Stormlash is to counter Call Lightning with an ability like Flock or Stampede, or to simply change the weather. Chirrup has the critter passive ability to break out of crowd control effects more quickly. He takes increased damage from beast abilities and has resistance against elemental abilities. Chirrup has 2 healing abilities, including Inspiring Song, which is a team heal, and Nature's Touch, which is a self-heal. His third ability is Stampede, which is a 3-round ability, and it doesn't do very much damage as long as the weather condition, Lightning Storm, has faded, or been replaced with another weather condition. Chirrup typically opens with Stampede and then will heal in the 4th and 5th rounds. Your option for Chirrup is to use a pet that has a shield and beast abilities for increased damage. Also, humanoids with beast abilities do increased damage and have critter resistance. Whiskers has the aquatic passive to reduce the effects of dots by 25%. He will take increased damage from flying abilities, and he has resistance to undead abilities. Whiskers uses the ability Surge, which does a moderate amount of damage and will always go first. When he is below 400 health points, he will use Survival, which will prevent him from being killed for 1 round. The ability you will want to look out for is Dive. He will submerge for 1 round and will re-emerge the next round to deal a moderate amount of damage. Dive has a 4-round cooldown. Whisker's typical pattern is to open with Dive, then attack with Surge until his health is low enough to need to use Survival. Be aware that he will die for a second time if the fight goes on long enough. Using a magic pet will reduce the amount of damage taken, or using a pet with a dodge type ability will be your best strategy against Whiskers. To easily defeat Aki, I bring a celestial dragon to go up against Stormlash. He has the ability to change the weather, a pretty big self-heal to avoid the increased damage that Stormlash will do if he gets below half health, and his Dragon Breath does a pretty good amount of damage to burn Stormlash down quickly. The Spirebound Crab has a shield that reduces all of the damage that Chirrup does with his Stampede, and Snap is a beast ability, so it does increased damage against the critter. The heal from Renewing Mists also comes in handy. Finally, the Silky Moth does increased damage against the aquatic Whiskers, and it has the Cocoon ability to avoid dive. Moth Dust has a 25% chance to put Whiskers to sleep, and since he's the last pet that I'll battle, it's a potential opportunity to get a free hit in since he can't be swapped out.